know what chapter we're in?
No.
No idea? Me neither.
This test is going to be hard. Hey, do you mind if we listen to some music?
Music? How can you focus while listening to music?
Well, I find that it helps me relax and it improves the learning process for me.
Okay. So I think the music would just add distraction to what we're trying to learn here and prevent us from doing well on the final.
Yeah, but I think that stimulating your temporal cortex with music increases the number of neurons firing off in that specific region of the brain. More neuron activity means higher cognitive functioning, which means better learning.
Okay. I wish there was some way we could test this.
Yeah, there's be a lot of people interested in the results. Corporate learning centers like Kaplan and Sylvan are part of a multi-billion-dollar industry that are dedicated to improving this kind of research. We should test it out.
Yeah, you're right.
The overall objective of the test was to determine the effect that music has on cognitive functioning. We asked ourselves two questions. Does music have an effect on performance in a short-term memory test? And what is the effect of tempo change in a short-term memory test?
We set two null hypotheses to be tested. The first, the mean accuracy of the control without music versus the mean accuracy of testing with music is the same. And the second, the accuracy of the short-term memory test is not dependent on the tempo of music.
Participants completed a memory test based off the game Simon. The computer displayed a randomly generated sequence of lit LEDs. It started with just one, but then built off itself, so the pattern got longer, allowing the player to learn the pattern. A Wii board was used for the game console with the corresponding color at each corner of the board. This recorded what the user hit, which was compared with the pattern they were supposed to hit. The test was repeated with and without music.
There can be a lot of factors influencing the results based on which songs you choose. Songs can have different pitch, rhythm, timbre, tempo, meter, contour, loudness, and spatial location. The spatial location of the music was controlled by having each participant wear headphones, which also controlled the volume. 3 songs by the same band were chosen, so there would be similar pitch, rhythm, timbre, meter, and contour, but the tempo of each song was varied. The songs chosen were from the Beatles, Come Together around 80 beats per minute, Hello Goodbye around 100 beats per minute, and Day Tripper is around 140 beats per minute, giving slow, medium, and fast tempos.
Each test subject completed a questionnaire to determine if they were familiar with the 3 songs.
Here are the results of the experiment testing if simply the presence of music affects accuracy. In this figure, the average accuracy of testing without music is compared to the average accuracy of testing with music. The units on the y-axis are the percentage of correct hits over total hits. A dependent t-test gave a p-value of 0.017, meaning these accuracies are significantly different. Our null hypothesis was rejected, and it was concluded that the presence of music negatively affects memorization.
Here are the results for the experiment testing if tempo affects accuracy. The first bar is control, memory testing without music. The next 3 bars are memory testing with songs at slow, medium, and fast tempos. A dependent t-test comparing performance in the control environment versus slow-paced music environment gave a p-value of 0.04, meaning they were statistically different. The other 2 tempos did not produce significant results. We concluded that music does affect cognitive functioning. Overall, music had a detrimental effect on short-term memorization ability. Songs with slower tempos had a significant effect on the short-term memorization ability. There were a few confounding variables to consider. The rhythm of the slower song was syncopated, and studies have shown that syncopation can affect memory ability. The individual learning ability of the subject was also not taken into account. Whether or not the person frequently studies with music also affects the results. Many songs evoke emotional responses from people, and this variable was not controlled. Finally, the difficulty of the test was random, and some accuracies could have been affected by a harder or easier test.